Alright, okay. So I've made a video already on what I use to make my potting soil, how I usually mix it up, and what plants I use in it, the pots that I'm using and everything. I'm gonna just give you the whole rundown. Alright, right now I'm just gonna mix up the potting soil that I've already made. Say that right quick. I had a pot of old potting soil that I had in here that I grew, probably was a pepper plant in before. Just tossed that down. I tossed it in there, crunched it up, moved all the excess like old roots out. Then I'm gonna go ahead and throw like maybe I've already thrown a scoop in there, but that's how it's looking. It's looking pretty rich right now. Go ahead and just mix some of this perlite in there. Because I'm putting them in pots. Oh, yeah, you see this stuff is pretty dusty. It looks pretty white and everything. I'm just going to show you the whole process of how I do it. Mix this guy in really good, stir it in there. Stir it in there like I'm making some sort of batter mixture or something. Like I said, this is my process of using like older soil that I had and the newer soil that I've mixed up basically with the black cow, peat moss, topsoil, like I said, the perlite. Keep it simple like that. I've got a pot. Let's see what pot is a little bit bigger. It kind of looks about the same size. This has orange on it. I don't want to put it in the one that does say orange. So I'm just going to toss that one to the side. But yeah, that's a pepper plant I had. I'm going to go ahead and toss some of this soil in there. I do have holes at the bottom so it can drain out pretty good. So of course, while I'm doing this, I'm looking at soil drop back inside here. I leave the pot in there. Get a good bit in there. Step out of the camera screen for a minute just to make sure everything is where you'd be able to see it. Okay. I just got the kind of the bottom part filled right now. I think I'm gonna take this pepper plant out. Doesn't have that much of a root system coming out of the cup, but you do see some of it. Still kind of damp. Oh, now you see the root system. All right, we got some roots there. That's gonna sit pretty low. I do have some of these smaller little leaves on the bottom. I'm just gonna take those off. Just put that in there, drop all that in there. I had a little stick holding it up, but I'm still gonna put a little more in there because I don't want it to kind of cover the whole plant. Normally if I had a tomato plant, I would have been just trying to cover the whole plant as much as I could. But I want to give it a little bit of top space though. Okay, that's pretty good for me right there. I'm going to cover what I've already got on there as well. So now I'm going to use the same cup that I kind of scooped the plant out of. This has holes in it as well. Kind of fill in the areas around it. Try to keep the plant sitting pretty upright. Now I want to kind of get that part kind of filled in for the most part. Like I said before in another video, I know my fertilizer is going to be pretty hot. You know what I'm saying? When I say pretty hot, I mean it's pretty heavy nutrient. So I kind of don't want to put it exactly on the roots, but what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab some of this sustain, which I call chicken caca. You can look that up and try to see what you think that means. I threw a whole handful of that in there. That's a lot, I know. Get some of this sea salt mixture. You don't need too much of this in there. This is what you don't need much of. But I don't want to throw it back in the bag either. Man. Then I get some of my crustacean meal that I use from my crab legs that I've already boiled and baked and crushed up using ginger, or if you got a bullet, that'll work as well. Crush that stuff up, crush it up pretty fine. And I said I'm gonna go ahead and put a little more soil in there. But at this point right now, I want to go ahead and get some water and kind of put it in there and pull this guy out. Pull this one out, back out the screen right quick. Get some water. Come over here in my trusty pot that I've got some rainwater in. I throw it in there because I want it to kind of mesh together, kind of give it some moisture. Yeah, you might think it's a little wet, but not that bad. And I'm gonna go back to filling this guy up pretty good. That's it. I'm in a rush because I know it's about to rain and I got my whole wheelbarrow full of my little potting soil mixture that I made up. I don't want to get too wet out here. It's not the straightest in the pot, not the neatest either. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna come right back and show you how I set that up. Okay, now you see that I've got my bucket full of rainwater. I had a pan just sitting here that was collecting the rainwater too. And guys, don't use your good pan out the house because your old lady, somebody's gonna be pretty pissed off when she find out you're using it for plants. She'll be pretty happy when she noticed that she's growing a bunch of bell peppers and everything. Get some of that rainwater, go ahead and wet that guy in. Notice that I got the plant pot sitting already in a set of water already. I want this to kind of go through and kind of wick up. But you kind of got to start the wicking process by putting water in through the top as well. And like I said, you want to go ahead and wet that guy in pretty good. Being that I'm doing them in these potters, or I'm good. I call them plant pots. I'm going to end up bottom watering them anyway. I'll show you what I normally do because I've got one already bottom watering right now. Okay, so if you notice, I've got my tomato plant. I just did this one just a tad bit earlier. I got this one sitting in some rainwater that I had in here. Another potter which is super big, but I just use it for bottom watering a lot of the stuff that I put in these pots right here since it gathers a lot of water and everything, rainwater. I usually have it halfway full with water and I just go ahead and set the pots in there and let them ease on down. But right now, we're just initially doing it, so just going ahead and filling them up with water at the top to start this wicking process. This one has just started wicking really good from putting it in the top. This guy right here is already pretty soaked at the top. The only reason I'm putting more water in it is because I want my soil to move off the sides of the pots and kind of cover the main plant or the stem of the plant. It's looking pretty good right now for me. But yeah, this is one of the processes that I go through when I'm trying to put stuff in pots and all of that stuff. You can try it at home. I mean, it's very simple. You just gotta have the time and some of the resources to do it yourself. I can also just go out there and get a lot of potting soil. A lot of people are against Miracle-Gro. A lot of people use it. I have no problems with it at all. I knew I had a whole bag of peat moss. Well, a third of the peat moss. I had a whole thing of black cow, and I had a whole bag of that topsoil. And I just happen to have this perlite on me. I would like to use that vermiculite as well, but I didn't have any more left of that. But this is how I usually start everything out. I'll give you a few updates later on as the season continues and see how I go from there.